This is an Airchecks.com special presentation.
And now, more of the Big 89 Rewind with Chris Shebel.
Music Radio WLS Chicago.
WLS Music Radio, it's the Big 89 Rewind. My name is Chris Shebel. Hi. It's nice to be back in these luscious studios they have here. Back in the day, we had like dumpy studios, but you could smoke. It's a different time now. Here's Rolling Stones. It's Brown Sugar. WLS. WLS Music Radio. It's the Big 89 Rewind. My name is Chris Shebel. I was on WLS in the 80s. And as a kid from Wisconsin, one of the big kicks of working at this job was meeting many of the people that I would listen to on the school bus in the morning. And one of the people that I listened to the most, you know, especially when you're a teenager and you get your first car and you get to drive around at night and stuff, was Yvonne Daniels, who was on like late at night during the times of romance. And we have a special tribute to Yvonne. It's coming up next on WLS.
If you grew up listening to WLS in the music radio era, you remember that a big part of the Big 89 was excellent news coverage.
From the WLS News Bureau, the Lyle Dean Report. Good morning. At 9:25, how was Angela Davis discovered? Attorney General Mitchell. 9 degrees below zero under mostly clear skies in Chicago. A $12 million 1970 teachers contract has won final ratification by a whopping 6-1 margin. The contract. Jeffrey Hendricks reporting for the Big.
This is Linda Marshall, WLS News. And for the second time in 3 months, the body of a young woman, an apparent murder victim, has been found dumped in suburban Skokie. Shortly before...
WLS News. A tie-breaking lottery was held today at City Hall to see who'd get the top spot on the February 25th mayoral primary ballot.
Today's WLS News team continues to break the biggest stories.
Good morning, I'm John Dempsey.
With award-winning coverage you might not expect from a talk station.
Jennifer Kuiper.
Indiana, Ryan Herman.
The newsroom, David Jennings, WLS.
I'm Jim Johnson, WLS News.
In fact, just last week, WLS News was honored with nominations for Best Newscast and Best Breaking News coverage by the Illinois Broadcasters Association. Now more than ever, for breaking news and your place to talk about it, remember 890 AM WLS.
Here he is,
564-1560.
WLS salutes one of the people who helped make the Big 89 even bigger, Yvonne Daniels.
WLS Music Radio 228, Herb Alpert's Rise, number 2 song this week. That's a young virtuoso from Mexico City called Abraham Laboriel playing bass underneath Herb.
Not only was Yvonne the first woman to hold a full-time daily shift on a major top 40 radio station, the First Lady of Chicago Radio also broke barriers as one of the most prominent African-American broadcasters of the day.
WLS Music Radio 232. Just got a hitline request for this one from Midnight Madness. Commodores, if you like your music soft and pretty at this hour of the morning, you got it. This is a gorgeous song. It's called Still. Baby.
Sadly, Yvonne is no longer with us, losing a courageous battle with cancer. The city of Chicago recognized her contributions by naming a downtown street in her honor.
You can share over $125,000 in cash and prizes, or maybe get a full year on Easy Street from here.
We proudly salute Yvonne Daniels, a big part of WLS history. Now, the Big 89 Rewind continues with
Music Radio WLS.
He forgot my name, didn't he? It's Chris Shebel. WLS Music Radio, the Big 89. Music Radio, the Big 89 Rewind. Paul McCartney and Wings Band on the run. This is Chris Shebel. It's a busy, busy day here at the WLS radio station. So many people that many of us haven't seen for years coming in and out. And this afternoon, the, I guess, unofficial historian of the music radio days, Jeff Davis, is going to be on the air from 3 until 6. And then, tonight, John Records Landecker returns to the Big 89 and does everybody's favorite nighttime bit, Bookie Check, Bookie Check, Bookie Check, Bookie Check, returns tonight on WLS. Celebrate the first day of summer with the first great party of the season as WLS Radio presents The Ro Khan Show. By the way, can I say, love his show. He's so good. It's the Ro Khan Show Summertime Booze, Friday, June 22nd at Chicago's legendary House of Blues. Spend the longest day of the year with Ro, along with Jim Johnson, Bill Leff, Christina Filiaggi, and special guest Rick Springfield, Dr. Noah Drake. Live music by the Play Doctors featuring Kimmy Hayes. And the event is free, but it's by invitation only. So watch your email for details on the latest WLS Insider newsletter. And tune in to Ro Khan weekday afternoons from 2 until 7 for your chance to be our guest. The Ro Khan Show live at the House of Blues, Friday, June 22nd, the only cure, summertime booze.
So come down and wander to the House of Blues. We got your cure with a summertime booze.
For answers to frequently asked questions about probiotics and Natron's Healthy Trinity, go to WLSAM.com, keyword Natron, or click on the Natron logo on the Don and Roma page.
Radio's greatest hits.
Chris Shebel, WLS.
I'm going to steal that, by the way, when I leave.
Where you hear radio the way it used to be. Airchecks.com.
WLS Music Radio. It's the Big 89 Rewind. It is like WLS Day all over the country, too. Jim from Lima, Ohio, called a little bit ago to tell us that just ending on Cinemax, 16 Candles. Now, what does that mean for us? A very young John Cusack was in that movie. What was he wearing? A WLS T-shirt. Aha! Even the radio geeks here in the trivia department are like, I forgot about that. BTO at WLS.
Airchecks.com.
Music Radio,
WLS Music Radio. It's the Big 89 Rewind. Eagles and Already Gone. My name is Chris Shebel. Was on WLS back in the 80s. Just talked to Kathy, who knew a lot about a lot of the WLS DJs, but unfortunately, under the new ways of the FCC, we cannot tell you what that story was. But let me just say that back in the day, remember the term sex, drugs, and rock and roll? Yeah, it worked. It worked great.
3636. Thanks for joining WLS for the Big 89 Rewind all day today. Now, if you grew up with music radio, but maybe haven't tuned in much lately, we'd like to welcome you back and tell you a little bit about who we are and what we do today as Chicago's talk station.
I've been a conservative pretty much since the day I was born. I'm a Democrat more in the mold of Lieberman.
I was a Democrat. I mean, I call myself a Democrat and a liberal.
I'm a conservative. When I step in the booth, I'm a conservative.
With righties and lefties.
To me, they're not Republican.
A lot of us that are right in the middle.
They're not, or at least they're not conservative. I keep telling you, I'm not a liberal. I'm an American.
You don't think it has anything to do with Republican-Democrat type thing, do you?
890 AM WLS.
We just need to talk about it.
Chicago's place to talk.
Chris Shebel, WLS.
I'm a Republican, I'm a Democrat, I'm confused, so I'll do what Larry would always do when he'd get confused. It's 12:49.
WLS Contest Memories.
Hello?
Hello, is this Pam Larson?
Yes, it is.
Pam, what's your favorite radio station?
WLS Music Radio.
You just won a Magnavox videotape recorder.
I just won one. I did.
Absolutely.
Oh, thank you.
It's all yours. Valued at $1,000.
$1,000? Thank you.
Well, Pam, congratulations. It's
Thank you.
Great way to get into the new season of TV shows. It's all yours, furnished by Playback, the electronic playground.
Oh, marvelous.
This was recorded from entries you've sent us. It's your chance to play it again from Chicago's favorite, WLS.
You know, it's funny how, like, things just make you think of other things. Like when we played the Doobie Brothers song a few minutes ago here on the WLS Big 89 Rewind, the first thing that came to my mind was our programming assistant, Cindy Gatziolis. Cindy had this thing for Michael McDonald. She worshipped him. She had posters all over the place. I mean, he was the greatest thing that ever existed, and it always made me think that was the only reason why we ever added Doobie Brothers songs on WLS. WLS Music Radio. It's the Big 89 Rewind, Earth, Wind, and Fire in September. This is Chris Shebel. I just had a question called in that I could not answer. It was, did I know when the WLS silver dollar surveys began and when they ended. And you know what? I don't. All I know is that was the best thing that happened to me, because they paid money to get pictures made of all the DJs to put on the survey.
Yeah, guzzling Boone's Farm apple wine with a group of young kids, and one of them ended up marrying one of the Baldwin brothers, and I can never remember which one.
I do have to tell this embarrassing story from my youth. I like, you know, when you go on your junior prom, that's when you're supposed to like have a few beverages of the adults.
Yeah.
I had never done that, so I didn't want to do any of it. So my friends got Boone's Farm apple wine, and at our post-prom breakfast, they spiked my chocolate milk with it.
What?
That's a true story.
Oh, sounds delicious.
And that's the last time I've ever touched wine in my life. So, Gene, before we let you go, of course, there's the one thing that every radio geek in the world wants to do. Gene?
I want to do it. Never got to say this on the air. Here goes. Music radio, the big 89 WLS.
Yeah, he did that good, didn't he? One more radio geek that we have for you to meet here. This is Jay Philpot, and Jay has been around forever too, right?
Yeah, but I didn't have a picture I could use as long as you.
Well, you know, what can I say? Youthful.
Yeah.
And you also do a lot of online stuff, correct?
A lot of online stuff. I do some freelance voiceover, and I'm teaching at the Broadcast Center in St. Louis, and bringing up the next generation. And so I told everybody, you got to check this out. This is radio history and some of its future too.
And we've had people calling today that have been wondering about what's going to be, because, you know, we're streaming right now, and that's why people are listening all over the country. And if you want to listen to the stream, WLSAM.com is where you want to go. And actually, this is such a big-time place that you have your choice of Real Media or Windows Media.
Yeah, or straight MP3.
MP3, but that's way too technical for me. But tell me about this AirCheck thing that you were talking about.
Well, you know,
AirChecks, by the way, are where DJs talk and, you know, they cut out the songs.
Some of the little features that you're hearing of some of the jocks.
I learned that from Lujack.
Yeah, right. Some of the features from some of the disc jockeys that aren't here this weekend that we're spotlighting were from the WLS archives.
Mm-hmm.
But there's also a website called realradio.com. Its official name is Uncle Ricky's Top 40 Radio Repository.
I know that well.
Yeah, and it's an incredible site with a lot of older WLS material and from radio stations all across America. There are probably 1,300 or 1,400 exhibits on there. I think it's like $12 a year, but realradio.com was, kind enough to say, yeah, here's some stuff maybe you guys didn't have recorded. So, because you know what, it's Radio Geek Day, but it's also, you don't have to be in radio to appreciate it.
And of course, before you go, Jay,
yes,
the one thing that all radio geeks want to know.
Well, since we're just past the top of the hour, I'll make it legal. Music radio, WLS, Chicago.
Hey, Sean Hannity, ThatcherOaks.com.
Okay, now, if you're going to be a real WLS DJ, you have to learn how to read live copy super fast that you haven't read before. This was one of the essentials of working at WLS. I don't know, it had something to do with the union. I don't quite remember what. But I'm going to give this to Jay here, and go!
You've heard Don and Roma and Rokan all telling you about being seal maxed.
His hands are shaking, by the way.
Yes.
His hands are shaking. He's so nervous.
And I wasn't expecting the reverb. Thank you very much, engineering. Their decks have been restored just like new. Not only does SealMax take the work out of owning a deck, SealMax provides a 25-year warranty, so you never have to seal your deck again. Really?
Sell it! Sell it!
SealMax now offers an exclusive stain called Color Guard to add or enhance the color of your deck. Color Guard comes in 5 colors and includes a 7-year warranty. And don't forget, SealMax also protects and seals masonry and concrete, too.
Say, Jay, have they got anything new that you'd like to tell us about?
Yes, I'd like to keep talking about SealMax. They're proud to introduce a concrete coating called Granite Max. Granite Max is great for pools, garage floors, and driveways. Any concrete surface you want to beautify and protect, they can take care of. Granite Max is offered in 10 beautiful colors with a 10-year warranty.
Wow.
Contact SealMax, XX now, for a free consultation and a friendly quote at 866-261-9575 or online at SealMax with 2 X's, like I said before, .com, 866-261-9575.
Yeah, not bad.
Come spend time at the Cove, the heart of Lake Geneva.
And now, more of the Big 89 Rewind with Chris Shebel.
That's me.
WLS Chicago.
I just love that. I can't help it. It's, we're running a little late, aren't we? It's 2:06 WLS. WLS Music Radio. It's the Big 89 Rewind. The full 5-minute version, too, of Philadelphia Freedom Now from Elton John. WLS. WLS Music Radio, the Big 89 Rewind. It's Elton John, Philadelphia Freedom. My name is Chris Shebel, and we are having just a wonderful day today. We really are. Everybody's just having so much fun and listening, getting all the phone calls at 591-8900, which, by the way, is probably the only studio line number in America that has never changed. It was 591-8900 25 years ago, and it still is. Area code 312, of course. But now, new technology, we have email, WLSrewind at AOL.com, and somebody named Doug. Doug was listening about an hour ago when we were talking about the silver dollar surveys, and I was like, well, you know what, I don't even remember. I just remember that the picture that we took for me, I used for the next 15 years at a bunch of different radio stations. But Doug knew the complete history. So here it is, if you're wanting to know the history of the WLS surveys. Doug says the silver dollar survey started in October 1960, which was about 6 months after WLS signed on with the Top 40 format. It went through several phases over the course of the next 21 years before WLS added their FM station, WLS-FM, to the mantle. In August 1985, WLS-FM took control of the survey. WLS-AM continued to air selected music off the list. WLS-AM started a separate playlist from the FM side, by then known as Z95. Remember Z95? In September 1986, those lists were published only in Billboard, Doug says, and ended in August 1987. Z95 continued during their surveys until May of 1990. There you go. We now know the complete and total history.
WLS, saluting the people who helped make the Big 89 even bigger. Chris Eric Stevens.
The Chris Eric Stevens Show.
WLS Chicago.
On the Big 89, and this was number one in the year of 1969. Spirits right out of the sky. Snap on you with Norman Greenbaum at WLS. I got a spirit in the sky. That's Norman Greenbaum at WLS with Chris Eric Stevens. Here's Weekend with
Chris Eric Stevens. WLS.
Thursday night in Chicago. Final score: Calumet over Simeon, 56-53 in basketball. Bowling down to South Shore, 71-69 in a close one. I got about close. Let's get about that way right now, honey. Drowning in a sea full of love. Joe Simon.
I've been down one time.
Now, the Big 89 Rewind continues with
Chris Shebel, WLS.
See, now here's another radio geek thing. Chris Eric Stevens. I used to listen to him, too, up in Wisconsin as a little kid. And when I was getting into radio, it's like, I think I'm going to have three names like Chris Eric Stevens. So I was going to be Christopher John Robert or something like that. But I always got confused. Blake in Kansas City, I have a note here. He says he's listening to the music on hold so he can hear the touch tones.
Music Radio WLS.
We want to keep everybody happy. Big 89 Rewind price pack, yours right now if you are the John Guerin approved caller 15. 591-8900 and you win from WLS.
The Big 89 Rewind.
It's the Big 89 Rewind on WLS Music Radio. Van Morrison, man, this was such a great song. Best job being on the radio, WLS Music Radio. It's the Big 89 Rewind.
We've got a winner, WLS.
We just love that. We've got a winner. Christine Krupa, Chicago. How are you, Christine? You're fine?
Yes, I won.
You won, Christine. You picked up our Big 89 Rewind prize pack, including a commemorative shirt, full-color Rewind mini poster, and a copy of the WLS Lost 60 CD featuring such greats as Dex Card, Mort Crowley, and Ron Riley. Now, Christine, I want to ask you a question. You still there?
I'm still here.
Christine, what is the name of your favorite WLS DJ? Fingers crossed.
Ron Riley.
Damn. You were supposed to say me.
I'm supposed to say you. Oh, I'm sorry. It's you.
Thank you, Christine. But Art Volo, radio's best friend who knows everything about everybody, says that Ron Riley is now a TV weatherman in Washington, D.C.
Wow.
So if you ever get to D.C., you know what you have to do? You have to turn on the TV and go, where's that Ron Riley guy? Oh, that's what he looks like. Christine?
Yes.
The other big question we always ask at the end. What's your favorite radio station?
Hello?
Christine?
Yes.
What's your favorite radio station?
WLS 890.
Gamblers know the real thing with
Doc Fee.
The Big 89 Rewind on WLS. Brought to you in part by Midas. Be prepared for the hot days of summer. Midas can inspect your car's air conditioning system and make repairs if necessary. For brakes, oil changes, tires, and air conditioning, trust the Midas touch.
Chris Shebel, WLS.
I have a friend of mine, his name is Jeffro, who's a jingle geek. He's like, I need that jingle. Can you get me that jingle? That's the only one I don't have of the WLS stuff. Brandon writes in and says, I'm really enjoying this. There aren't a lot of DJs that care about entertaining the audience like you guys. That, my friends, is what WLS was all about. You can write to us, too, WLSrewind@AOL.com. Reach us at area code 319-591-8900. Jeff Davis is going to be here after 3 o'clock today. It's Don Henley now. WLS. Oh, I said it's 312. What area code did I say? 319. Oh, WLS Music Radio. It's the Big 89 Rewind tonight. After 6 o'clock, John Records Landecker returns. And tonight we will have Boogie Check. Boogie Check. Boogie Check. Yes! WLS Music Radio, it's the Big 89 Rewind. Leo Sayer, long, tall glasses, but we always call it I Can Dance because he kept saying, I can dance through the whole thing. So it's Radio Geek Day here at WLS because we're doing this rewind. And so now I'm going to introduce you to Art Volo. And I'm doing this partly on revenge because, as Art said, he makes these video movies all over the country. And this is the first time he's ever had me on camera, and that's been intentional. So, Art, you are now on WLS. But you've probably been on here before.
I don't know if I ever. This is kind of exciting. They put me on
everywhere.
Well, they put me on WABC in New York, our sister station,
which is doing a rewind as well.
Well, yeah.
But ours is better.
Yours is better. Well, this one's better because it's live. Whoa, the tape is going to slow down.
We are back in the day. We were always better. This is in New York. We
had that one guy call in. He was he was listening to the WABC thing. He was in New York, but he's listening to this one online.
So, Art, you know so much about radio.
WLS stands for World's Largest Store.
What was the best thing that you remember about WLS during the music radio days?
Well, I was listening from the very beginning, from May of 1960 when it first went on.
You're that old?
I'm that old. Yes, thank you very much, Chris. You're really a sweetheart of a human being. Now, I mean, this is a big thrill to be on this. I mean, to be coming off that giant tower down in the south suburbs right along I-80. This is really super because the station's tower is so far south that it had a lot of what they call downstate listeners.
You know,
remember?
It was near Tinley Park.
Tinley Park,
and it was near like some type of mental hospital or something, because one day I came into work and one of the engineers going and said, our engineer at the transmitter site and called and said, there's some dead guy out here trying to climb the tower.
Yeah, no, I remember Mort Crowley was the original lineup was Mort Crowley in the morning, followed by The Breakfast Club with Don McNeil. Jim Dunbar was middays. Then he went out to have a huge career at KGO in San Francisco.
Art knows everything.
Then there was the noon news block thing, and then they had.
He's going to give the whole schedule now.
Art Roberts was
never put Art near a microphone.
Sam Holman did the Silver Dollar Survey. Gene Taylor at night, who wound up becoming the general manager of this great radio station.
And then 3 months later,
and then Dick Biondi at night, and Bob Hale East of Midnight. I know it all.
So Art,
Chris, I love you.
What's your favorite radio station?
My favorite station is the Big 89 WLS.
Oh, I also, at a few of my jobs, took the part where they sang Chris Shebel and cut that out and spliced it onto other radio station jingles. You got to get your money's worth, you know.
For years, this was the sound of people winning on WLS.
You just won $1,000.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe it.
Over the years, the sound may have changed, but one constant remains.
$1,000!
Oh, come on!
More than ever, it pays to listen to WLS, especially if you're a WLS insider.
I just signed up as an insider maybe a month or so ago. I was really kind of surprised that I won something so quickly.
These calls were recorded from insider entries online at WLSAM.com.
I need the money.
I am shaking.
Become a WLS insider and win with WLS.
I've just really always listened to it.
I wonder how you're feeling.
WLS Music Radio, it's the Big 89 Rewind. Peter Frampton, show me the way. Another one of my most embarrassing moments in life was before I actually got the job at WLS, I worked in Columbus, Ohio, and I did mornings. And so when you're a morning guy, you're supposed to look really, really cool. So I had this great idea that I wanted to have Peter Frampton hair. Because you remember Peter Frampton had the long, real curly hair. So I went and got my hair permed. And it looked really, really scary. And my hair started to fall out. But fortunately, I had gotten rid of it before I came in for my job interview to get the job at WLS. Because had I had Peter Frampton hair, there would have been no way that I would have been allowed in the door.
Hi, folks.
For direct buy.
This has been so fun today. I want to thank everybody that helped, Jay and Kurt Hansen. I want to thank Brandy, who ran the board for us, and Kipper McGee, who called me up about a month ago and said, hey, I got this idea. What do you think about doing a WLS reunion? I saw a friend this morning. It was so much fun. And Jeff Davis is coming up next. Have a fabulous Memorial Day weekend. And one of the things that WLS was most famous for is when they wanted to have a hit record, they said, here, let's make a special version just for you. Have a great holiday. And keep listening to the WLS Music Radio Big 89 Rewind.
Airchecks.com, where classic radio lives.